Tonight's episode of the Botch Pod is brought to you by our new favorite fantasy app called Draft. Here's how it works. It's a season-long best ball format. Your best players get automatically selected and you'll get the best score every week. You can draft a team anytime you want, and the best part is you can play for cold, hard cash. Leagues start from just $3, so there's a league for everyone. Just search Draft in the App Store or go to playdraft.com and come play free with promo code FAKEPIGSKIN. For a limited time only, all new players get a free entry into a $3 best ball draft when you make your first deposit, but you have to use our promo code FAKEPIGSKIN. Let's go, guys.
Welcome to the Botch Pod, presented by FakePigskin.com. We're back. We took a few weeks off for some much-needed rest and relaxation and to run our fantasy teams into the ground, but we're back with the Botch Pod, presented by FakePigskin. I'm your host, Josh Bennett, and I'm joined today by my co-host, Michael Vincent. What's up, Mike?
What's going on, Josh? Looks like it's just rolling two of us today, unless that was a ghost that was on a 7-second delay, and we can call it Zach. But, yeah, it's just you and me.
All right. I'm ready to go.
Big news for everybody that's been following us since day one, like a month ago.
Yeah.
We have been approved on iTunes, so you can actually subscribe and comment and rate this pod. It would be it actually starts with episode 6 on iTunes. So go figure that our first 5 don't even get updated or uploaded. But it's on iTunes, so it's going to be easier than just going on YouTube and looking for us. We have people actually trust us on iTunes, so we cannot screw this up. That being said, we're going to screw it.
We're going to screw it up. We're going to screw it up, dude. You know we will.
Oh, I know.
Okay. Well, since Zach's not here, we're going to go into baseball talk, and I was going to let you and Zach talk about it because I can contribute absolutely nothing to that topic. But I can tell you this: the World Series is between the Astros and the Dodgers. Am I right so far?
You are right.
Okay.
The Cubs met their snowy grave last Thursday against the Dodgers, who are representing the National League.
Rest in peace.
Yes. People forget, though, that the National League champion has been decided at Wrigley Field the last 3 years. So the Mets in 2015, the Cubs last year, and the Dodgers this year. So just saying that Wrigley is a hallowed ground to win baseball games and National League pennants. So let's keep the road coming through the friendly confines moving forward. But yes, the Cubs are dead. The Diamondbacks are dead. The Red Sox are dead. Anybody that anyone had any rooting interest for is gone. However, our friend Slow, his Dodgers are in the World Series, and they're facing Andrew's Houston Astros.
That's just great. How are the Reds doing?
The Reds lost almost 100 games this year. They have no relevance.
Is that bad? Is that bad?
That's not good.
Okay, it's not good. It's not bad, but it's not good.
No.
Okay. Hey, I work with a guy who's a Cubs fan. We're back. We took a few weeks off for some much-needed relaxation, and it was a botch. It's already a botch.
What are you doing?
That's not me, bro.
That's crazy. Oh, hey, Andrew Frechette says, you guys suck. Thank you, Andrew.
Thanks, Andrew. Love you, buddy.
Thank you.
Speaking of Andrew and all our friends, we recently started an NBA Dynasty League. Same premise as fantasy football dynasty leagues, except it's NBA players. How you liking it so far, Mike?
It's fun. I've gotten into it. It's just not the same as football. There's different metrics. There's people out there who follow all that stuff. I don't know. I mean, I took LeBron James as the 8th overall pick, and I know he's in like year 14. So that's the equivalent of like taking Jordy Nelson in the first round, but he scores a lot, and so
right.
I'm not worried about it.
You're in win now mode. It's
I
okay.
am win now. Always win now.
Always win now. Yeah, I like it. It's fun. I like the everyday lineup. That's pretty interesting. Instead of just brooding over your team for a whole week, you don't have time to do that. Like you every day got to make a lineup. But it is a different game. You don't have as deep of benches because you start up to 10 players. So you are constantly having to hit the waiver wires, adding guys that are starting, dropping. It's a fun game. I'm eager to see how well it does once we get into like week 8 and 9.
Yeah,
when people are just kind of going through the motion.
Just like redraft leagues that we try to run.
Exactly.
They don't take off.
No, they don't. Redraft sucks anyway. I decided this next year I'm doing one redraft league, and it's the one I'm already in. Other than that, I'm not doing anymore.
I've become worse at redraft since I've been playing Dynasty, and I don't know why.
Because you're drafting all these guys for their potential next year and not their 2017.
Funny. And that's funny because in Dynasty, I feel like I'm drafting for win now. Like, I'll take Larry Fitzgerald and Jordy Nelson, Michael Crabtree. And, it's crazy. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not good at all. And I'm just
you're probably just bad at fantasy. That's probably it.
Yes.
Okay. Speaking of fantasy, we're going to be screwed over this week, pretty much everyone, because of the bye weeks. It's bye week hell this week and next week. This week, the teams on bye include the Arizona Cardinals, Green Bay Packers, Jacksonville Jaguars, Los Angeles Rams, New York Giants, and the Tennessee Titans. That's a lot of fantasy-relevant players spread out among those teams that we're not getting. But if you go through and look, Arizona, Carson Palmer's hurt. Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers is hurt. Jacksonville, Leonard Fournette's banged up. The Rams, Sammy Watkins sucks. The Giants, everyone's hurt. And Tennessee,
everyone's hurt.
Everyone's hurt.
Wow.
So it's like, are we really missing too much with bye weeks this week?
So that's like a big false sense of like, hey, there's a bunch of teams are out. We might, but in reality, the only one that's really missing out of that played last week would be Todd Gurley. Obviously, Fournette's been great all season. But yeah, Arizona, Palmer going down, that hurts Larry Fitzgerald. And that sucks because Larry Fitzgerald is as constant as it gets in fantasy. Green Bay, I mean, I've loaded up on so much Jordy Nelson and Devontae Adams, and now they're garbage. Unfortunately, I mean, who knows? Maybe Brett Hundley turns it around and becomes the next famous Brett quarterback in Green Bay. But at the moment, it doesn't look good. Jacksonville, I mean, who can you really count on at receiver? Every week it's a different guy. Marquise Lee one week, Alan Hearns the next. The only constant there is Leonard Fournette, and then he got hurt and he hasn't played in a game and a half, and they've had two different guys run for or put up crazy fantasy points. Ivory 2 weeks ago, Yeldon this week, and then the Rams again. That's another team that's putting up 35 points a game, but who's getting all the fantasy points? It's really Gurley and Goff is just going. It's like Kirk Cousins with Washington. He's a top 15 quarterback, but none of his receivers are doing anything. So if you have Goff and Gurley, great, but you got Watkins or I'm sorry, Robert Woods. They're not doing anything. I mean, they're doing enough but not enough to stay relevant. Same with the Giants. Eli's not doing much. The only one that really own there is Evan Ingram, and tight end. If you got him, you really lucked out because obviously OBJ's out, Marshall's out, Shepard's been out, but he'll be back soon. And Tennessee, that backfield, that's frustrating. All signs pointed to DeMarco Murray being out, or that Derrick Henry was going to take over. Henry still got he got 15 touches. He got 13 carries last week, but didn't do anything with it. Got stuffed at the goal line. DeMarco Murray got stuffed. Mariota's looked like crap. Corey Davis is out. Rashard Matthews is not doing anything. Delaney Walker might miss time. So, yeah, those look more like a relief in your lineup to have those 6 teams out this week.
Right.
That being said, a lot of guys you can't drop, a lot of spots on your bench that you're not going to be able to just vacate. So, good luck.
Good luck. We wish you the best. Okay, let's get into segments. The first segment, shootout of the week. We got 2 of them. You got one, I got one. Mine is the Patriots versus the Chargers. Should be quite a high-scoring affair.
A lot of points, a lot of guys that are fantasy relevant. I think the implied total is 48, which is just either the first or second highest of the week. The game is being played in Foxborough, so San Diego's got to travel across the country. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on in that game. Obviously, Brady, Rivers, all the receivers. Start everybody.
Breaking news today: Dontrell Inman was traded.
Yes.
To your Chicago Bears.
To my Bears. My 3-4 Bears. The Bears are back. The Bears defense is back. Start all your Bears IDP guys. And the Bears D. All of them. But no, yeah, he went from one shootout with the Chargers to the Bears. He's not – so the Bears attempted 7 passes last week, and they're going to put the training wheels on Mitchell Trubisky as long as they can. They're going to run Jordan Howard into the ground, and then they're going to run Tariq Cohen to the ground. But if that's going to be a shootout, Bears and Saints, it's going to come from the New Orleans side. The Bears are not going to be able to keep up. I can see this is in New Orleans. The Bears defense has been great the last couple of weeks, but Drew Brees, the Saints, this is all about just healing from Katrina. The 10-year anniversary is coming up or came up. So, I think the Saints take this. I think they put up most of the points in that shootout.
Awesome. Good stuff. We're headed on to our next segment, Stream of the Week. This is kind of a dumb one this week since there's so many bye weeks. You're pretty much just starting anyone on your roster that is going to get some points. Any kind of backup player. You might be starting your sixth overall wide receiver this week as your wide receiver 3 or 2, just based on injuries.
Kenny
Stills. That's a good one. We got Philly D and Mini D if you play with DSTs. Both are playing 0-7 teams.
Yeah. You got to start them both if you can. In the 2 defense leagues, definitely start them both if you got them. No, they're both must starts. They're going to put up points. They're not. The other team will not be putting up any points. Who was the one you said Minnesota, and who's the other one?
Philadelphia.
Yeah, Philadelphia, and also the whoever's playing the Colts, the Bengals defense against the Colts. Those 3 are probably the most. Not even to say streamable. I mean, you should probably be starting the Vikings D every week, but the other 2, if you're in a bind, you have an extra flex spot, or if you start a defense every week, that's where you go.
Good stuff. All right, let's get into our signature segment, Revenge Games.
We need to create like a sound for that.
We do, like a Revenge Games or something. Yeah, I can just say that every time.
Yeah, for the record, Zach is still nowhere to be found.
What a dick.
He is, yeah. And it was his idea to actually pod today. He's like, oh, I can't pod on Tuesday because I have class and I'm so smart, and now he can't even show up on Wednesday.
Right. Thanks, Zach. It's cool.
Thanks,
and you know what time it is over in Arizona right now? It's like 8:30 in the afternoon.
That's the worst part. He was the one like, oh, well, I can only go at 8 o'clock my time because this excuse and that excuse. And that made you stay up, and it's 11:30 your time, and it's 10:30 my time. And here he is. He's probably outside smoking or having Taco Bell or telling old war stories or something.
Ugh, he's the worst.
So screw you, Zach. Yeah.
Screw you,
Revenge
Zach.
games. Yes. And this was his revenge game he wanted to talk about. It was E.J. Manuel of the Oakland Raiders going up against the Buffalo Bills. If Manuel plays, something happened to Derek Carr, and it's the end of the world.
Is that it? Is that all we're getting?
That's all I got. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. I'm moving on to the next one. Mike Wallace versus Miami. Mike Wallace was disgruntled in Pittsburgh back early time of his career and ended up getting a major contract from the Miami Dolphins. And he went down there. How many seasons did he play?
I think it was 2014. Then he went to the Vikings, and then where the hell he is now, the
Ravens.
The Ravens, yeah.
But his whole career in Miami can be summed up with just being overthrown by Ryan Tannehill. Like every play. Like he would catch one and everyone's like, oh, Mike Wallace is back. And the next week, 3 overthrown passes and just
I feel like the Mike Wallace line was like 5 catches for 45 yards and no touchdowns. I think that was like the 9.5. But yeah, he's looking to join, looking to go back to Miami, or they're playing in Miami or Baltimore. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
No, I think Jeremy Macklin's out. Perriman doesn't exist. I don't think they have a tight end, so look for a lot of Flacco to Wallace, so Wallace can pump up those stats. This is Mike Wallace's second revenge game in the last couple of weeks. They just played the Steelers, and I believe they're playing the Vikings at one point too. The Ravens and the Vikings will play. Oh, that was this week. Mike Wallace he just played the Vikings. He's playing Miami, and he played Pittsburgh. So his revenge games are piling up. Last
week he got hurt too. He left the game early.
He did. He got smashed by Anderson Sandejo, who's suspended for a game. It's a true story.
True story. All right, let's move on to the next one. Torrey Smith is playing against the San Francisco 49ers.
That's right.
Another team that overpaid for a receiver and didn't pan out there, and then got cut and hit the market.
Yeah, I mean, if you want a guy who's going to catch 2 passes for 120 yards and a touchdown every couple of weeks, then yeah, Torrey Smith is your guy. That hasn't panned out anywhere he's gone, Baltimore, San Francisco, and now he's with Philadelphia. A little bit more stable offense, but at the same time, he's still the third, fourth option behind a lot of people.
Right. I think he did pretty well in Baltimore. I mean, that's why he didn't stay, because he outplayed his current price. I mean, they went to the Super Bowl. He won a Super Bowl ring.
Yeah, he was the second best Smith receiver on that team behind Steve Sr. So
was Steve Sr. there at that time? I don't think he was.
Yeah, they won the Super Bowl together.
Steve Smith was not on the Super Bowl winning Ravens. He was still in Carolina.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Maybe I'm thinking. I don't know. Let's find out.
Let's find out. We have the interweb at our fingertips. All the information.
Andrew's asking if he can join the pod. Andrew, I'm almost. Oh wait, I guess he was a Carolina Panther. That's my bad.
Oh God, you ruined.
Yep, I did. So no, Torrey Smith got replaced by Steve Smith.
Yep.
As the Smith. So yeah, he's going there. I'm predicting a very pedestrian line of like 2 catches, 25 yards, and a touchdown. Remember that.
And a touchdown. We'll get a touchdown.
Another one Zach brought up before he died was the brother versus brother, the Eagles and the Niners. You got Brent versus Garrett Selleck, the Selleck twins. They're going at it in that game. So watch out. 2 tight ends, something to prove. Maybe their parents love. I don't know.
Right. And our last one is Russell Shepard. Wow, we were scraping the bottom of the barrel for this. Russell Shepard, current wide receiver for the Carolina Panthers, going against his old team of Tampa Bay.
That's right. That's all we can really say about that. I mean,
yeah, that's it. That's all there's to say.
Yeah.
He played there, and now he plays here, and now they're playing each other.
And they're going to play each other twice because it's a divisional game. I feel like there's a lot of NFC South, little cross branding that you got. Who did it? Ted Ginn. Ted Ginn's been everywhere.
He hasn't been to Atlanta yet. Do you think that's where he goes next year?
I think so. He plays alongside Sanu at that point when Julio retires.
Julio retires due to body catching and injuries.
Yes, too tall.
So, too tall. Okay. Let's move on to my favorite segment, Dead or Back.
All right.
I love it. Great segment. Okay, I'm going to start with the first one, Martavis Bryant.
That's your guy.
My guy, Martavis. He has been so disappointing this year. And not so much from the field standpoint, which he has been disappointing, but I hate the way he's handling this current situation in Pittsburgh. This team stood by you throughout a suspension. They brought you back. They worked you into the lineup. You looked good in camp. You've been working out. How committed to your recovery and to your comeback are you when you come out into the media week 6, week 7, and say you want to get used more? I don't understand what he's doing. He needs better people advising him. Very disappointed.
I feel like that happened all offseason. He was talking shit to, like on Twitter or Instagram, to Sandy Coates, to Marcus Wheaton. Both are gone. And now he's doing it to the new guy, Juju. And we'll talk about him later, USC. But the guy just doesn't seem like he knows what it takes to be a teammate. Roethlisberger called him out last year. It's not going to work. It hasn't worked. They gave him the chance to at least screw up on the field. He hasn't even been able to do that. Now he's going to be a healthy scratch in week 8 when they're depleted. Juju Smith, Smith-Schuster might have a concussion. Their next best receiver is freaking Justin Hunter. So
go Vols.
That's right. It's from your Vols. So he's out here. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't seem like a guy who knows what's going on. And people are going to talk about his athleticism and his potential and all this bullshit, the same shit they do with Josh Gordon. And in the end, all that matters is, are you on the field? Can you get points? And are you getting fantasy points?
And Martavis Bryant is not.
Yeah. For the record, Juju Smith-Schuster is practicing in full this week. I just got it from my insider, Andrew.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, he's on the phone right now. We add him right now. It just kind of throw the game flow off. But I'm going to say this. If Zach misses another one of these, maybe we replace him on the pod with Andrew.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Maybe Andrew becomes the new Zach.
Yeah, which is much better, probably more hygienic than Zach is anyway. So.
Absolutely. One more thing about Martavis. which he's not going to get traded. They've already said he's not. But
no, they're going to let him sit. Exactly. They're not going to give him his wish to get traded.
They're going to let him sit there on the bench. And then he's going to be a free agent next year, and he'll probably land somewhere like Kansas City or a team to where there's very little competition for targets, and his stock is going to rise. So if you're thinking about cutting him for some reason or you're going to sell low, I recommend not to do it. Hold on to him, stash him for now because you'll have a better sell opportunity in a couple months. So cool. So Martavis is dead. Rest in peace. But he'll come back to life.
Yes.
The next one. I'm going to throw this one to you, your boy.
Can I do these together because they're kind of in that same?
Yeah, go ahead.
So we got veterans. I buy them a lot. I know a couple other guys in our leagues that are good at fantasy have them. Guys at Larry Fitzgerald, Jordy Nelson, and everyone's like, "Oh man, let's get a good 32-year-old season out of them." And they got Carson Palmer and they got Aaron Rodgers and whatever. And now their quarterbacks are gone. Do they hold the same value? Can they still be sustainable as every week starts? If you have a deep enough team, you probably can get away with starting them on their ceilings. But if you're scratching at the bottom of the barrel to try to field the lineup and you got a Larry Fitzgerald or Tawan Taylor, someone like that, Taiwan, whatever.
Taiwan,
whatever. What I'm trying to say is somebody who's got a better quarterback but maybe a lower ceiling, or do you go with the guy that's the guy that's been doing it for 10 years? I don't know what you do in that case. I still go with my veterans. I probably would still start Fitz and Jordy and guys like that because just that that they know what they're doing out there. It hasn't looked good. I trust the Arizona receivers more because I feel that they're going to be losing a lot. They don't have the running game that Green Bay does. I don't care what Adrian Peterson did 2 weeks ago. And I think that the backups in Arizona are more adept to just throwing and trying to play from behind than Brett Hundley, who hasn't had that in-game experience. So, but I would still start both of them. But I'm stupid, so.
Yeah, you're bad at fantasy. So, I'll probably start both of them too.
One comment, someone said.
Ooh, a comment.
Yeah, also Andrew. Andrew, you've been very helpful today.
Andrew's the best.
He would trade Jordy and Fitz both for guys like Garcon level players. Like exactly, like a more of a safe floor, but not as high of a ceiling as a Larry Fitzgerald and a Jordy Nelson. So I'm inclined to agree.
I'm sending Andrew a text with a heart emoji right now.
Yes. Thank you, Andrew. Yes, Andrew's like the ghost that is helping.
He is. He's the ghost. Cool. The next one and our last one is USC receivers, dead or back. There's been a common conception among dynasty owners that you don't draft USC receivers because they always bust, and they'll bring up guys like Nelson Aguilar in his early years, Marquise Lee. Who was the dude a couple years ago? Was it Steve Smith?
The other Steve Smith. Fake
Steve Smith. Who else was there? There's been a bunch of guys.
There's been a few, yeah.
But it just never panned out in the NFL. And then everyone said, USC receivers, don't draft them. They're just bad.
Robert Woods.
Thanks, Andrew. He just texted me that. But now you've got some emergence from guys. Aguilar producing. He's probably the best option other than Zach Ertz on that team. Marquise Lee with the A-Rob injury starting to produce. Juju is taking Martavis Bryant's spot, and they like to run that offense through Le'Veon Bell, and Juju can block really well, so he gets a lot of snaps and catches some touchdown passes.
Yeah, Braylon Edwards. I bet you Andrew could say some random player that didn't go to USC, and
we'd be like, "Yep,
yeah, totally him,
totally, yeah, cool." So, but yeah, I think they're back. USC receivers are back.
All right, there you go. You heard it here first on the pod.
They're back. Draft them all. Draft every one of them next year. All of them.
We should do a league where you have to draft one college.
Ooh.
Yeah. Like you get to pick a college, and that's the only pool of players you can pick from.
We should do a league to where you're supposed to score the least amount of points, but a player has to score some sort of points. Like you can't just start all guys that start 0 because they give you 10 points each.
So like golf.
Yeah. So the lower scoring league. That would last approximately 2 weeks before everyone gave up. So,
yeah, that's true. By the way, World Series talk, Houston took the lead, and Kenley Jansen blew his first save of the postseason for the Dodgers.
He blew it?
So Houston's up 5-4 in the bottom of the 10th. It was 5-3, but of course the Dodgers will probably pull some bullshit and take the lead. No offense, Slow. Good luck.
Are the Stros up 1-0?
No, the Dodgers are up 1-0.
Okay.
So if whatever happens here, the next 3 games are in Houston. So Houston wants to steal a game here so they can go back to Houston and try to win all 3 out there.
All right.
Andrew said
fucking World Series.
There was. Andrew said Juju got his bike back. He said,
his bike got stolen. I saw that.
Yeah, and they're going up to Detroit where 8 Mile was filmed, so it makes you wonder. Yeah.
Okay, can we talk about why 8 Mile didn't win Best Picture? Because it should have. Greatest movie ever. I'm going to. It should have won Best Picture. That's all I'm gonna say. If people say they like Citizen Kane because of Rosebud, nah.
Rest in peace. I like Brittany Murphy.
Rest in peace. I like 8 Mile because Eminem destroys Papa Doc in the last few minutes in the freestyle battle. It was great. You've seen that movie, right?
Yeah. Andrew says don't forget that sex scene.
Oh yeah, the sex scene in the factory.
Brittany Murphy.
Romantic.
That's right. R.I.P.
R.I.P. in peace.
This is as bad as when you were talking about Harry Potter earlier today.
Hey, who was it who got all those answers right?
Tom and Cups.
Tom and Cups, yeah, because they fucking Googled it.
Yeah.
But anyway, all right. Well, you got anything else? Because I think we're done.
I think we're done. I think we did a good job. The pod ran pretty well with 2 of us, so
it did.
Makes you wonder.
Makes you wonder what the weak link is.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
interesting. Okay. Cool. Well, that does it for the Botch Pod. Oh, you got something else to say? Sorry.
No, I was gonna give us the Wednesday night outro, but
do it, bro.
Go ahead. No, do it.
Okay, I'll go. And that does it for the Botch Pod. Thanks for tuning in. I'm your host, Josh Bennett, and you can find me on Twitter at DynastyJosh. You can follow Michael Vincent on Twitter at MVTweetsHere, and don't follow Zach.
No, you should follow. Though it's Zach HHVK.
Oh, it's the worst. Actually, go follow Andrew on Twitter. What's his handle off the top of your head? Is it
No, hold on. You can follow Andrew. Well, you can follow him on his own pod at the Dynasty Life pod. He does a good job with Travis and Justin. It's Dynasty Life Pod. And you can follow Andrew at you can follow Andrew at Andy Fresh. FRESHH. What's with people with extra H's in their names?
I don't know. It's pissing me off.
Yeah.
Your H's. Cool. Follow our podcast on Twitter at Botch Pod. We're always down to answer questions, so shoot them our way. Also, follow us on iTunes. We are officially on iTunes now.
Yeah.
So go subscribe. Please give us a 5-star review.
And then unsubscribe.
And then unsubscribe and then subscribe again.
Yeah. Over and over again.
Just do it all day. If you have a chance, just unsubscribe, subscribe, unsubscribe, subscribe. That'd be great.
Good night. See you Sunday.
Crank that music, bro.
At all. No one listens this far into it anyway.